This is the Farm Monitor. For over 50 years, your source for agribusiness news and features from around the Southeast and across the country, focusing on one of the nation's top industries, agriculture. The Farm Monitor is produced by one of the largest general farm organizations, the Georgia Farm Bureau. Now here are your hosts, Ray DeLesio and Kenny Bergamy.
Well, the leaves are falling. In some areas, they're burning. It just feels like Thanksgiving. And as we do every week, all of us here at the show giving thanks that you decided to tune in to the Farm Monitor.
Yes, absolutely. And once again, we got a great show for you coming up. With the peanut harvest in full swing, join us as we uncover the intricate journey from field to shelling plant, guided by the unsung heroes, the peanut buying points.
Rev up your engines. This year's Sunbelt Ag Expo set the stage of fire as antique and garden tractors roared to life in a thrilling competition that had the crowd on the edge of their seats. Watch as these powerful machines pull a weighted sled, showcasing their speed and strength. Plus,
well, everybody, Ranger Net, coming up a little bit later, I find myself in between two strands of electric fence. We're studying how deer researchers are using this to keep deer away from food plots, vegetables, and even roadways. That and so much more starts right now on the Farm Monitor.
every year, Georgia is responsible for nearly 3 billion pounds of peanuts, making it by far the nation's top producer. And as Damon Jones reports, buying points around the state play a vital role in getting that massive crop to the consumer, while also providing the grower with a little peace of mind.
Peanut harvest is wrapping up here in Georgia, which means shellers are now working overtime on this year's crop. However, getting them from the fields to its final destination is anything but easy, involving a number of different steps along the way. That's where the peanut buying point comes in, as it offers growers all the assistance needed to help navigate this process.
We're the middleman between the shelling plants and the farmer. We provide the farmer with the equipment to get their peanuts from the field to the buying point. We dry, we clean them, we have to grade them here. According to the grades is how we segregate where the peanut's stored before it goes to the shelling plant.
These operations are vital this time of year for the growers, as they provide not only personnel to negotiate and document eventual sales, but also equipment the vast majority of them don't have access to on their own farms.
Well, we're just a necessary part of the operation to help them get it here, because all you farmers, they don't have a way of drying their peanuts and cleaning them if they happen to have to be cleaned. They come from the farmer actually picks them. We come in, the first thing we do is check the moisture. Once we check the moisture, that determines if it has to go to dryer. If they don't have to go to dryer, then we grade them. And then once they're graded, then we dump them, we put them in tanks, we ship them out to a storage warehouse until they decided to be shelled.
While it might sometimes be overlooked, the drying process is an essential role the buying point plays, as peanuts are far from ready for the shellers straight out of the field.
They have to be at a certain moisture. If you're not, then they mold. If they're too dry, you don't want to get them too dry, because then when you go to shell them, they bust open and split on you. We usually do around here, we like to try to average about 15,000 tons as far as going through the buying point. And we try to shell somewhere around, we love to do around 90,000 tons at the shelling plant.
As for this year's crop, a difficult growing season that saw both high temperatures and long stretches of dry weather did have a negative impact on both the quality and quantity, and that coincides with a price that is also lagging.
Peanuts are off. Dry, hot weather, yields not near as good as last year, nor are the grades. Prices right now is $550 to $600. So, naturally, a row crop peanuts really need to be $750.
Reporting from Tift County, I'm Damon Jones for the Farm Monitor.
All right, picture this. An epic showdown of tractors, both old school cool and modern marvels, all at Sunbelt Ag Expo's latest hit, the Antique and Garden Tractor Pool. But as the Monitor's John Holcomb reports, it's not just about horsepower, it's a sweet tribute to the good old days.
This year at the Sunbelt Ag Expo, antique and garden tractor enthusiasts got the chance to showcase the power, speed, and capabilities of their machines. It's something that was new to the expo this year, and is something that turned out to be a crowd favorite, as these machines were put to the test by pulling a weighted sled behind them.
Tractor pulling is a competition which we hook to a sled, mobile sled, that has a weighted box over the rolling tires on the rear axle. As the sled is pulled down the track, the weight box progressively moves forward, mashing harder on the skid plate at the front, creating a drag which the truck or tractor, or in this case garden tractors, must overcome. On my sled, fully loaded with the box all the way up, roughly 7,500 pounds of drag. Pretty good handful for a small tractor.
What's the purpose of this event, you ask? According to Norman, it's a chance for gearheads and tractor enthusiasts like himself to showcase the speed and power these machines have to offer, all in a family-friendly environment that will hopefully land them some bragging rights in the end.
Sort of like John Force, why does he need to travel 300 miles an hour? It's the thrill of the speed. Gearheads like to make horsepower, and this is the way we transfer it. It's just most times it's a family-oriented competition pull. Every now and then we get a little payout or a little certificate at the end, but mostly trophies and bragging rights.
Aside from the friendly competition, however, Norman says that all of this has a greater meaning behind it, as he says that tractor pulls and other similar shows to this one pay tribute to the tractors that were developed in the 20th century and honors the heritage of those that used them to grow food and fiber.
I would like to say heritage, but a large portion of the people that participate never had family farms, their children certainly never saw these tractors. Now there's a large portion of the antique folks that's several years older than I am, but for the most part it brings back the nostalgia of childhood memory of some of the older people. And to be honest with you, it's a marvel of our ancestors' mechanical knowledge. They really built a good machine. It's still something that we deeply appreciate.
As mentioned, this is the first year for the event, but Norman is already planning on bringing back the event next year and wants to make it bigger and better than before. Reporting in Moultrie for the Farm Monitor, I'm John Holcomb.
Well, hey everybody, Ranger Nick. Hey, do you have a problem with deer getting into gardens just like this? Well, I'm going to show you a special type of fence that's being studied at the University of Georgia that presents quite a challenge for deer, the science behind it and why it works after the break. Well, it's that time of the year. Got a lot of folks traveling, a lot of deer moving around, a lot of hunting going on, and you might be wondering, what can I do to keep those deer away from the road and away from my plants in that garden? Well, let me introduce you to somebody who knows a thing or two about that. That's Dr. James Johnson. Hey, Doc.
How's it going, Nick?
I'm doing great. You might remember Dr. Johnson from our mobile chicken coop segment, which was super popular. Very, very cool stuff. But today I want to talk about deer vision a little bit, and we're looking at this fence. 2 strands of a fence, not super sophisticated, not made out of wood, made out of some pieces of cloth. What about this works? What about this throws deer off?
Absolutely. So when you see a fence like this, you might think to yourself, I know deer can jump higher than this. I know deer can jump further than this. But if we get down at the eye level of a deer and we think about them approaching this for the first time, they're going to see this tape fence here, and they're curious animals, so they're probably going to walk up to it and they're going to put their nose on it and they're going to get a shock.
So it is electrified.
It is electrified.
Okay.
Yep. And so now you've got this impediment and you've taught the deer to respect this fence, and they're not going to want to interact with it or get entangled in it. But it's also 3-dimensional, like you mentioned. It's offset. And so the idea of a deer is not going to be able to figure out how to jump between it without getting shocked, and he's not going to be able to jump all the way because of the depth perception issue there.
Like they can't go over it, can't go through it, can't go around it, that whole Big Bear Hunt song. Yeah. So they can't go over it, they can't jump this whole thing. So you've got this other strand. And you've got this flagging the homeowner has on that. Is that so that the homeowner doesn't walk into this?
Well,
Or
that's
what?
one good reason. That could absolutely
Somebody
be
like
it.
me.
Yep. But the blue tape here is purposeful, and we know from deer research, deer vision research, that deer see best in the blue light spectrum. And so this is a visual cue for deer. It's also going to wave in the wind, and so they're going to see that, and it's going to spook them a little bit. It's all very purposefully designed so that they're going to have that depth perception, and they're not going to be able to clear it, and they know that they're going to get shocked if they do touch it.
And we're going to talk more about deer research a little bit later, but a pretty good idea here going on right now. What I want to do next, James, is I want to talk to the homeowner about putting this in, maintaining this, and some of the things to consider. So let's go there next. Well, what you're looking at there is the foundation of this deer fence on this homeowner's property. And let me introduce you to the homeowner so you don't think we're out here trespassing. It's actually a friend of the show over the years, Dr. Chris Irwin. Good to see you, Doc.
Hello, Nick.
Oh, man. Over the years, if you've been watching Ranger Nick, you recognize Dr. Irwin of the Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources. And Doc, I want to talk with you. You are the homeowner of this installation. Talk to us about the materials that it took to put this special deer fence in.
Yeah, gladly, Nick. My wife and I decided that we were going to go with the easy job.
Okay.
T-post and fiberglass step-in post, and then also the mesh tape. This is half-inch mesh tape.
Okay.
And some and wire over on this side just to be another visual cue. And so this material is easy. It stretches, and if a limb falls on it, and breaks it, you can just tie it back together.
That's what's so cool. Imagine tying a knot in the fence as opposed to a metal wire that you've got to stretch and put in wooden corner posts.
That's right, Nick. That high tensile wire is a real difficult maintenance issue because if you have a break, you have to re-stretch a wire. So, and the wooden posts are a lot of work to put in and keep maintained.
Now talk to us about maintaining this. The
Yeah.
trees above it, if a limb falls on this, what are you doing?
So we check it daily, and it's 1,600 feet total length. So it's a nice little bit of exercise to walk it,
Yeah.
but keeping limbs off of it, keeping grass away from it. You can see it's nice and clean. I have used herbicide to clear any vegetation out.
Good.
And also the limbs, we tried to keep tree limbs pruned up as well. So we've removed several trees.
And the thing is, not only the limbs hitting this thing and potentially breaking the cord, but also shorting it out
That's a big one.
with the electricity running through it. This is so interesting. So what I want to do next is I want to talk about the science behind all this and the future of deer research and introduce you to a deer researcher who's devoted his career to understanding how deer see. So let's go there next. Well, the future and history of deer research is something that's very important to discuss as we wrap this up today. And let me introduce you to a giant of that work, and that's Dr. Carl Miller. Doc, thanks so much.
Good to see you.
It's so good to be with you today. 34 years in the Warnell School of Forestry and Natural Resources as a deer biologist. Got to ask you, over that time, where did we start? What's the history of deer research been for us?
At Georgia, you know, we've done an awful lot of deer research, but one of the primary things we focus on is deer sensory perception. And one aspect of that is deer vision. We've done most of the deer work on deer vision that's been done. And all of this has been done with an application towards some type of management issue. So, we've looked at deer visual acuity, deer color vision, and so forth. And we found some really fascinating things that a lot of people don't realize that when a deer is seeing the world, it sees the world so much differently than we do. They perceive their environment so much different. So that's why it's important to do the research to develop things that's particular, like deterrence for gardens and roadsides and so on.
Think about the amount of money that's tied up in a beautiful garden like this, and you want to keep that wildlife out of there in a humane way and also a visually appealing way. These fences are very conspicuous in the landscape.
Right, and to think how many places we have suburban deer populations where landowners would love to have something like this.
Sure.
But because of the cost of fencing, it's just almost impossible to do. But looking at something that's economical but also built on a deer's sensory perception, that's a really neat opportunity.
Absolutely. Now, where are we going from here? What's the future, next 5 years look like in deer research?
Well, you know, I've retired, but left Warnell in very capable hands with Dr. Gino D'Angelo, who's doing a lot of carrying on some of that work as well. He's got graduate students working on deer vision, all again with an applied aspect to it.
That's so interesting. And folks at home, this is something to continue researching online and look it up. I got to tell you, Dr. Miller, it's such a pleasure to have you on with us.
Oh, thank you.
A real giant in the field here. We've had so many deer friends on the segment with us today. Isn't that good? So I got to give a shout out to Dr. Johnson and Dr. Irwin, who is about to retire at the end of this year. And a big thanks to him and his friendship over the year. Y'all know what to do. Keep looking into deer online and what you can do to keep them out of your gardens. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, as I always say, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you that enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here this time next month. See ya.
Nick, thanks so much. When the show continues, we're going to highlight a family legacy spanning nearly 150 years. A place where farming tradition meets modern delights. A place where a deep passion for agriculture has grown into a thriving U-Pick operation.
The University of Georgia is home to a world-renowned cutting-edge plant breeding program, the Institute of Plant Breeding, Genetics, and Genomics. Plant breeding is the science of selecting a plant's desirable genetic traits to develop new varieties of field crops, vegetables, fruits, and ornamentals. When combined with the latest advancements in genetics and genomics, this critical science is significantly advancing the field of plant production. The Institute, known widely as IPBGG, is home to an interdisciplinary group of faculty at the forefront of plant breeding and genetics research. We are responding to the need to feed the world's growing population by producing healthy plant varieties and improving crop yields. We are addressing the pressures of climate change by developing the latest technologies to grow crops with limited space and resources. We are innovating to produce plant varieties that are more resistant to pests, pathogens, drought, and climate variability. And we are mentoring IPBGG graduate students to be top competitors in the job market, ready to become leaders in their field and improve our world. Our graduate students have access to diverse graduate-level courses, gaining knowledge and hands-on experience in modern plant breeding, genetics, and genomics. Thanks to Georgia's diverse soil and climate conditions, our students are exposed to a wide variety of crops, making ours one of the most diverse plant breeding and genetics programs in the world. Encompassing 3 campuses, Athens, Griffin, and Tifton, Georgia, and housed at a land-grant university, we give students the opportunity to work in a variety of state-of-the-art lab and field research facilities across the state. Our students can fully immerse themselves in the many vibrant and diverse research environments housed within the IPBGG. There are also a variety of professional development opportunities available for students to hone their outreach skills. And while our reach is wide, our community is tight-knit. The quality of student life at the University of Georgia is unparalleled. The Institute of Plant Breeding, Genetics, and Genomics brings together a diverse group of people united towards a common goal. Join us as we commit to improving plants for the health of our planet.
Finally this week, with over a century of tradition behind it, this 4th oldest farm in the state has a rich legacy that continues to flourish.
Our Jennifer Parsons spent time with Kevin Mitchum, president of Mitchum Farm in Newton County, who reveals his passion for farming and the importance of connecting people with the origins of their food.
The family farm has been in operation for 147 years, I believe, which is one of the fourth oldest farms in Georgia. My great-great-granddaddy, they had a real working farm here. They had everything. They had a blacksmith shop, they had a pig pen, they had a chicken pen, they grew corn. I know my granddaddy talked about taking corn to a grist mill right up the road. It was a self-sustaining farm back in the day.
Kevin Mitchum, president of Mitchum Farm, says his passion for farming runs deep.
Something that I guess gets in your blood and you want it to remain a farm, and people need to understand where their food comes from.
Their U-Pick operations have been in full swing for almost 20 years.
We have approximately 8 acres of strawberries that people can come out and pick in April and May, and then we grow a patch of corn in the fall for our corn maze, and we do some vegetables in the summer. We also have blueberries and blackberries that will come in right after our strawberry season.
He says their urban location helps them educate the public on where their food comes from.
You know, agritourism is good for the smaller acreage farmers. It also gets the public out. They can interact with the animals and the crops, and you get a chance to put them on a hayride, take them by the cornfield and stop and talk to them about, hey, this is corn, and there's over 3,500 uses for corn, and everybody's got corn in their gas tank using ethanol.
They're busy year-round, keeping their long-standing, multi-generational farm going.
August and September, we are really running hard, getting the beds down and getting the ground prepared so that we can plant strawberries in October. April and May is wide open with strawberries. The vegetables is tied into April and May because we're trying to plant vegetables. We're planting squash and okra and peas and beans. June is blackberries. June and July is blueberries. Then we get into the corn maze, which is the end of September. And then we're back into redoing the strawberries again.
From donuts to pumpkins to hay rides, there's something for the whole family at Mitchum Farm in the fall.
We have animals you can see, a gem mine that they can mine for gems. When they go back over to the other side, we have a 6-acre corn maze that they can run and find stations in the maze. We have a jump pad, pedal cars, corn cannon, lots of kids' activities.
We asked what he thought his great-great-grandparents would think of the farm today.
They would really be amazed because, you know, I'm pretty sure back in their day, it was probably 2 guys and 4 mules.
In Newton County, I'm Jennifer Parson reporting for the Farm Monitor.
Jennifer, thanks so much. Now, a friendly reminder that while you're searching for all the latest ag news, or if your search is food related, maybe some recipes, or even what's happening on Georgia farms, be sure you check out all of our social media platforms, including farm-monitor.com. Take care, everybody. We'll see you next time right here on the Farm Monitor.
Stay safe and have a fabulous week.